Hello guys, welcome back to Map Making with Sparks. We are once again working on the Foxy Boxes world. I'm back from Switzerland. Thank you for your patience. It was a very, very nice holiday. I very much enjoyed it. I had a good time to relax, and I did a lot of brainstorming and thinking about Foxy Boxes while I was there, because sometimes you've got a bit of free time, like on the train or something, and I brought a book with me to write in, and yeah, we've got some stuff. So yesterday, I nearly recorded an episode, and then I just decided that I wanted to tidy up the redstone. So I've neatened it all up quite a bit. I've labelled it all, so there's actually like label signs on pretty much all the command blocks telling you what it does, which will probably help me in the future. You can see there's still a few bits and pieces here and there that haven't been moved and labelled, but all of the click and right click detection has been moved from over there. In fact, I think I can get rid of this now as well. And I can get rid of this stupid right-click toggle, which was constantly staying on as well. And it's been moved over here instead. So we've got this entire column here is click control. So you've got left click, clock, right click, clock. I've also made a couple of other changes as well. So first of all, crates can now tell how they've been broken. So these are the 6 ways I see that you can break a crate. You can jump on it, you can slash it, which is the left click attack. You can dash at it, which is right click attack while moving on the ground. You can pound it, which is right clicking while falling, which sort of launches you down at the ground. You can headbutt it, which is standing underneath it and jumping, and TNT can blow it up. So the crates now have a different break state number. Last time we were working on crate breaking, and we basically had it so that if I think I stopped halfway through labeling these, but basically it was a break state of 0 if it had never been broken, a break state of 1 if it had been broken but hadn't been saved as broken by a checkpoint, and a break state of 2 if it had been saved and broken. Now, it has a break state of 0 if it's never been broken. It has a... oh, hang on, I said that wrong. Zero has never been broken. 1 is needs to be processed as broken. 2 is broken but not saved. 3 is saved and broken. Now what happens is 0 is not broken, and then 1 to 10 is reserved for what kind of break it is. So if you jump on it, it has a break state of 1. If you dash at it, it has a break state of 3. And once it's finished processing, once it's saved broken but not saved, it has a value of 11. And if it's completely broken and saved, then it has a value of 12. So we can probably show that here. Scoreboard objective set display sidebar break state. So there's quite a few crates around. If I jump on this one here, oh, maybe that's probably a bad idea. If I jump on this one here, dunk, it will have a break state of 11. So it'll briefly have one of a break state of 1 because it was jumped on, and then once it's done its processing, it will change. Now I've just jumped on a checkpoint there, which means that its break state has now changed to 12, which means saved as broken. So that's pretty cool. It means that we can make the crates behave differently depending on how they're broken. So for example, if TNT breaks them, maybe they don't drop anything. If they don't contain anything, it's all blown up. Or we can have it just handle the way that it gives players items differently depending on how it's broken. So I think that's a safe change to make. I've also moved all of the attack types apart from TNT to the new system, because before we were just working off of the furnaces. Now we can break anything like this. So let's just quickly review what we have. We have the sploosh, which is actually in the end it's going to be a slash attack. Well, that's so weird. You can see all of the signs through villagers that take damage. Let me quickly just hide those villagers. We have a game rule. I had to add a new game rule. This is another thick change I made, which is I'm so glad I labeled these. The no collision rule, which looks like this. Wait, no. Sorry. Team rule no collision. This one here. This stops the invisible villagers from nudging the player around, which they were doing. And then I'm just going to change this to false, so we can't see them anymore, and just power. This is just all of the scoreboards have been added to this now. Scoreboards and game rules, so they're now invisible for us. So we've got the sploosh attack, which will eventually be a slash attack. We'll need to work out some sort of nice way of texturing that effect. We've got the dash attack. If I walk forward and right click, it makes me run for a short distance. I've made a change to that. And we've got the pound, which is if you jump and right click, it launches you down at the ground. So I can show you that here. Jump, right click, and it kind of launches you down. It's kind of cool. You can break a lot more crates like that instead of just breaking, like if I just jump on it, I break one at a time. But if I pound, I break tons of them, which is kind of cool. And this line here just oh, I can't, hang on. I always forget I have to go into game mode 1 to push buttons and things. So that just resets all the crates and things. You can see the ground pound happening over here as well, quite well. I'm having some problems with the ground pound, actually. Not quite happy with how it works at the moment. Like, do you see when I hit the ground, I get launched into the air really high? And I don't know why. Like, this happens... what am I doing? This happens even if I pound not on a box. Oops. So if I go, like, over here... Game mode 2, and pound, whoop, boing, and it just launches me into the air. It's really weird. This one over here is supposed to remove the levitation effect conditionally from players if they're pounding and they hit the ground. If I enable that, we only bounce once instead of twice. It depends on the height as well. It's very strange. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm going to have to keep playing with that a little bit, I think. So that's kind of cool. What else have I changed? I moved the jumping and the levitation. Sorry, the jumping and the dashing away from... Like, I got rid of that repeater because it was getting locked on. So now what happens is there is a scoreboard called launch, which launches you up in the air if your value is... Look, scoreboard objective set to be side by launch. That was the wrong one. Launch. So if I do scoreboard players set sparks launch 1, it'll just sort of not really do anything. If I do like 4, it'll launch me up the height that a crate does. So if you jump on a crate, it gives you a launch score of 4. If I give it 10 or something, then I will jump much higher. So it's kind of more adjustable. It also means that we can target players through various means, although I guess we could have done that before as well. And the same thing with the dash. There is a dash score because the speed effect was being given for too long. So I believe currently the dash effect is given... where is the dash effect given? That must be under... left click. Set dash if on ground. There we go. So it's currently set to 10. So for 10 ticks, we are given a speed effect. So that's kind of neat. All of this like level starting and level moving stuff I haven't really touched yet. But that's kind of a bit of a status update for that. I've also been thinking a bit about levels. And speaking of levels, somebody has actually sent me a level. Let's take a quick look. Okay, so this is a level submitted by email by Black N to me. I have to turn off the Foxy Boxes resource pack because all of these look like little foxes and it just crashes my computer trying to render all the fox faces. So bear that in mind. But so he's sent this level over. I did ask for levels to be layout only. He has decorated it, but it's still a fairly cool level. He's got a key here. He's got moving platform lines, moving platforms, checkpoints. Lava is a block instead of lava for some reason, and then some suggested crate placement and stuff like that. So this is just a separate world he sent me. I had to turn off the Foxy Boxes resource pack because all of these look like little foxes, and my computer crashes trying to render it. So we can start the level, and it seems pretty cool. This is volcano themed. I have actually done themes, so I'll just run through this and give some thoughts. So first of all, this is a cool idea. Like you jump on the crate and it will bounce you up here. But if you broke the crate and failed to make the jump, there would be no way up. So this would have to be thought about slightly differently. Either like offering an alternative way up, or making that a crate which launches you up but doesn't break when you jump on it, or something like that. So we've got the speed boosts. I have no plans of adding these at the moment, but maybe. Extra life crate, I'm sure we will have some of those, and I do have a list of crates. So we've got some more sort of crate parkour over here. These are falling platforms. Oop, I'm not very good at this. I would say some of these platform jumps are possibly too tricky for what I had in mind. Got a checkpoint here, although I suppose if there's checkpointing, that's not too bad. I'm really failing. I'm just going to fly through this, I think. So we've got some cool things. He's good at getting sort of the level to loop around itself a little bit. So it's got a moving platform here with a path. So there's like a little secret side area here with an extra crate. Remembering that you have to collect all of the crates in a level to 100% complete the game. And yeah, it's kind of nice. I would have preferred just the layout, but I guess I can take the layout from it, because I suppose I can have a volcano themed level, and we'll work with that. But yeah, it's kind of cool. There's some nice twists and turns and stuff like that. It makes use of some of the mechanics I've already shown in previous videos, so I'm glad for that. And I guess it is a good long while to run through. I haven't tried speedrunning yet to see how long it is. I asked for the levels to be fairly long. Now I'm not sure where the level is supposed to go after this. Like, I don't know where you're supposed to jump to from here. I made that hole in the ceiling because I was trying to work out where it goes. So I have to keep looking at it a little bit. If you're watching this, where are you supposed to go after you jump on this? Because I can't see it. I would imagine you just end up back on this platform, but we've already been here. So, a little confused. But, yeah, okay, cool. Let's head back to the main world. Something I have still to do is I need to change the crates over from armor stands to area effect clouds to stop things happening. The weird thing also is I think I'm going to have to change game mode to over from furnaces, because sometimes I've managed to actually right click and open a furnace instead of attacking. I can't do it anymore now I try it. That's the other weird thing. Oh, my mouse. I really need a new mouse. Do you know how hard it is to find silent mice online nowadays? It's crazy. If you watch me run, it sort of pulses twice. It's very weird, and it also kind of blinks up the top left, top right, and I don't know why. And it's kind of annoying. So I'm not really, yeah, I can't actually enter the furnace anymore. I don't know how I managed to do that before, but I may change it over to something that isn't a tile entity. So there's that. You'll notice I can break crates like that. I can also, if I dash, I can break the crates I'm stepping on. You can see that happen there, which I don't know, that's intentional. Don't know if you guys think it should be like that, so you can stand on a crate and dash and it'll smash. Anyway, let's get on and do some deaths. So the kind of death that I want to handle today is the kind of death I want to handle today is the falling kind. So if you fall down a hole, then it will spell disaster. Now I think we have a pretty holy hole over here. Okay, this is a pretty holy hole here. We were going to put a moving platform here at some point. In fact, we could probably put a falling platform now, but this is just sort of a test demo level. This is my my fireflies thing. So the way that the best way I can think of telling whether a player is out of bounds or has fallen into a hole, which is the first kind of death I think I'd like to try, is an area effect cloud. Because, well, I don't know. It might be worse than using a square radius check. I'm not sure, but there's kind of two ways I can think of checking if a player is is in a square radius area like this. One would be to use dx, dy, dz area selectors, which might be the better way of doing it. The other would be to use an area effect cloud and then detect when the cloud shrinks. So, I don't know. I mean, with the area effect clouds, we don't have to have as many command blocks checking every coordinate range that a player could fall down. But with the area effect clouds, it could be worse if there are too many holes to check for or something. I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's actually use this as our test area here, for the sake of what the. Okay. Oh yeah, I came across something the other day, well earlier today actually, where the shulker that was going through this one here was taking a little bit of suffocation damage every time, and eventually it just wouldn't come back up again. I've been sort of enjoying just sort of jumping on every other one like this, and then on the way back jumping on the opposite ones, and that's not going to be possible anymore because that last one is now broken, but it's kind of cool. Anyway, so we could make this our fall area. So a slight danger with area effect cloud reductions is that they would, let me F3B, no, F3B? Yeah, that was right. So we can get the wireframe of the area effect cloud. If a mob falls into the area effect cloud, it will affect it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon area effect cloud at these coordinates, which is just kind of below the platforms. And then there are a couple of tags we need to give it. So first of all, we need to give it a duration, which can be a large number. 10,000. I forget what the largest possible number is, unfortunately. We'll have to apply that later, but just for now that'll do. We also need the radius, which is a float value. So that would be, we'll give it something like 10, and it may need an F at the end, and then we also need radius on use, which is how much it shrinks when it is when an entity has an effect applied to it. So radius on use, will give it something like 10. And then what we can do is we can test for an area effect cloud with a radius of, actually radius on use, let's put 1. So if it's got a radius of 9, then we know it's our cloud. And just for safety, we'll give it a custom name, hole. So let's summon that. Oh dear. Okay, so that's giving off a potion effect, even though we didn't apply one. Do we need to specify particle like that? It's called take. Okay, there we go. So now, there we go. Okay, so we've got our area effect cloud. It's a little bit smaller than we need it to be. Let's just kill it again and make it have a radius of 15. That should cover us, I think. Pretty much. So if we enter this area, we should see... Oh. Okay. I think it needs the potion effect. I think this is working now. So, yeah, that shrank. So that should technically, if it starts with a... Oh, I've just had a thought. If we start with a radius of 15 and we take away 1 when the radius is used, then we would have to always check for, depending on the size of the area effect cloud, we'd have to have a different check for the final radius. So what we should actually try and do is take away 14 if it's 15 and take away like 19 if it's 20 or 1 if it's 2. so that it always ends up with a radius of 1. And then we can check for area effect clouds with a radius of 1 and announce that a death has occurred, and then set the radius back to whatever it was, which we don't know. Well, one thing at a time. Let's summon this. Oh, okay, that applied the effect by itself, it seems. That's weird. I'm surely not in the range of the effect. Why is it shrinking down now? I wonder if this platform is causing it. It's possible that that entity was applying it, in which case the platform falling down would cause the area effect cloud to consider it a death. Let's summon it again. Yeah, there we go. So the problem we have now then is that that is going to trigger it. Yep. I think it's giving the effect to the shulker, or even to the armor stand, maybe. I'm not sure. We can't really have that. So I guess we either then need to abandon the area effect cloud or work off potion effects. So get it to give us an effect like water breathing or something that we're not going to use, fire resist. And if we have that effect, the game knows that we are dead. Let's just try that a second. So I'm giving the effect ID 13, which is water breathing, for a duration of 10, amplifier of 1, and I'm going to get rid of the radius on use tag, which should mean that it doesn't shrink when an entity enters it. So that should do nothing to it. Yep, still fine. If I stand in here, it gave me water breathing for just a moment there. And then it will not. I should probably lower the reapplication delay. There we go. So let's try this. Let's put down a quick repeat command block. Always active unconditional. Test score. Test for at A. I gotta check. Hang on, I gotta check my active effects format. Copy this from this command block, paste it into this command block, change that to needs redstone, change that to always active, and then we can make this a always active conditional say found player. Okay, so if I jump down here now, it detected that I went into the field. Fantastic. If I do it again, it messaged again. That's kind of cool. How often does it trigger? Every 10 ticks, I guess it would have to be. Or do I have to leave? Doesn't seem to be doing it anymore. Application delay of 1. There we go. That's a bit more quick. Okay, so that doesn't shrink the effect cloud or anything, and stepping on that won't trigger it. It'll give water breathing to the shulker. Can we see the particle effect? No. So the only danger possibly now would be that if we fall too quickly, it won't register that we're in the cloud. That happened just then, I think. Yeah. This may be too inaccurate. Found me when I fell with the platform there, but I don't know. I think we may just have to go for checking within a bounding box and just manually entering the coordinates of every hole, which is gonna be less fun to do, I guess. But it may have to be the way we do this. Okay, so I've got my negative most corner of the space, and then I have an X of 10, a Y of 2, and a Z of 28, and then I just play some messages in the chat and play a particle effect at my feet if I'm in that radius. So you can kind of see this area here is all being checked. This is why I like the area effect cloud, because there's a nice visible while editing border. It's a lot easier to develop for, and you can see that the flame effect ends just under this platform here. So we're checking the play in that space. What we can do now is change this up. So get rid of these, and we can execute at this player to execute at name equals die, which is the def setting thing. Name equals die to set block a redstone block at its location. So a redstone block will be placed here by this die armor stand, and let's just try this out. So I'm going to reset this. So all our checkpoints are now reset. So I'm going to break this checkpoint here. So when we fall off that platform, we should spawn right there by that crystal. Let's give it a try. So, oops-a-daisy, pardon me, I've fallen and I have died and spawned back here. Fantastic. Now if I go and break this one, okay. What happened? That was weird. Okay. I've broken that new one anyway, so now if I fall off the edge here, whoop, I apparently... Did I fall through too quickly? Should I be checking lower? Let me lower that a little bit. 13, 12, 11, 10, and then raise this by 3 as well. Y2, 5. Let's try jumping off again. Whoop. It's not killing me. Why not? Okay, let's try this again. Why is this suddenly not working? Does relogging fix it? It does. Okay, that's weird. So we've got our checkpoint there. Let's jump down here. It takes us to this point here. Good. We break this one. They both have a checkpoint score of 1. Did that used to happen? It's supposed to clear the checkpoint score from the previous one. I think that's what's causing the problem. It's trying to teleport me to it, but because there's more than one, the command fails. So I think I just need to reset the checkpoint score of the old one before I move it to the new one. Okay, I think I need to move all of these over 1 from here and delete the old checkpoint score before marking the new one. I'm surprised I've missed this somehow until now. Set type equals armor stand, name equals crate, score break state equals 1, doesn't matter. Score break state equals 10, doesn't matter. Tag equals checkpoint, checkpoint 0. So it's going to set all checkpoints to have a score of 0. Uh-oh. Okay, I think I've got it. So we execute on a checkpoint box that has just been broken, i.e. has a break state between 1 and 10, to set all checkpoints to 0 here, and then after we do that we set the break state, the newly broken checkpoint, to have a score of 1. So let's just try this now. So jump on this one, boop, and then we jump on this one. I think that changed them, and we can't obviously break that one again. Let me just check that again. So 35 is at the top. 35 has a score of 1. I'm looking at the very end of the checkpoint figure, by the way, 35. And now B has a score of 1. Okay, I think we fixed it. So now we should be teleported to the most recently broken checkpoint. Okay, cool. That's pretty good. So that's our first death. I think I may want to make it less jarring though. Like, it's a bit discerning if you are running forward and suddenly you vanish and then you're just running forward from here. Um, Possibly if a checkpoint is right by a hole, you could end up just running forward and just dropping down into the hole. So I think I'd like to try and take over for the player, and do a sort of third person death image. Which will probably involve basically changing the player to game mode 3. Maybe summoning an armor stand where they were that looks kind of like them, that falls down the hole, and then have the player in game mode 3 pan up slowly from the hole, looking down, and then after a couple of seconds, wherein you sort of can tell that you've died, it then teleports you to the checkpoint. So I think that will be something to consider. Yeah. But it looks like we're out of time for today's episode. Thank you, as always, for watching. I'm glad people seem to be still really enjoying the series. You saw earlier in the video that somebody sent me a level. I would love to see more level designs sent over, as in level track layouts and things. I'm going to be working on texture packing soon to start like making the levels look pretty. Once that's done, I may need some help decorating some of the levels. But if you go look at the previous video in this series, I talk a lot about how you can submit level layouts to me. So yeah, thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next episode. Toodaloo.